Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Miss me or not, shall we? Before we start, remember to subscribe me. If you haven't subscribed me, please give me just a little bit of support so I know that my teaching is okay, not good, but it's okay for you or suitable for you. And please don't hesitate to leave a comment below and tell me, what do you feel? Is it way too fast? Is it way too slow? I always cannot really imagine, because my own student and you, maybe there's different, right? Because after all, I'm still a teacher, I'm not a student. Okay, I cannot understand how do you think, like what is the best way to teach you. Okay, but I try my best to teach you everything I know, and with all different methods. Okay, like for example, whatever I want to do today, because today I'll teach you different methods, but it's not necessary to learn all. But I'm just a very greedy teacher who love to deliver all the options. Okay, my dear, because you know it's very hard for you to ask me questions, so I try my best to give you everything. Okay, so today we are finally coming back to Form 4 chapter 2.3. And guys, this chapter called quadratic function, and 2.3 exactly called quadratic function, it show you that this part is important. And this part, obviously the whole chapter is important lah, but this part itself always come out in hot questions, so you guys must understand the basic of it. Okay, so before we start, quadratic function in this same chapter under 2.1, we never learn quadratic function, we learn quadratic equation. Do you guys still remember quadratic equation? Normally you write in what form? Very good, general form. Not sure whether you tell me that, but I think everyone can say that. General form. How general form look like? Do you guys still remember? Ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Correct, my dear? By the way, if you don't know what I say, okay, then maybe your basic is not too good. You must watch back the basic before you come to this. Okay, I'll put the link somewhere up there. Okay, so guys, general form. So general form is quadratic equation, right? So quadratic equation and quadratic function, what is the difference? So you look, quadratic equation will look like this, the one I show you, right? That's what we learned under 2.1. But quadratic function is not like that all. Quadratic function don't have a 0. Instead of a 0, they will have a y, or maybe they will call it fx, gx, hx, all different kind of name lah. But they will look like this. Maybe you will tell me, then why did you look like that? Because quadratic function is actually an equation for a curve. So for a curve, they won't equal 0. Like straight line, isn't it? Y equals to mx plus c. So for curve also, they should start from y, fx, something like that. So that explains why the equation will have a y and fx instead of a 0. So before I start, I want to ask you guys, quadratic function is curve, right? So how a curve will look like? How many look for a curve? You should be able to answer me, because you learned under Mod Max chapter 1, which actually curve got two face. Either they are happy face or they are sad face. Correct? And today, what I want to teach you guys, my dear, if they are happy face, let me ask you guys, what do we call this kind of point? The one I purposely draw a dot there. Don't know whether you correct or not, but it's minimum point. Because when you're happy, right, isn't it this particular point is actually the lowest of the whole thing? The lowest of the whole thing, isn't it minimum? So this kind of point, we call it minimum. Okay? How about another one? Then that one is sad face. Sad face, isn't it? This particular point is actually the most highest point. Highest point, we call it maximum. So today, I'm actually teaching you how do you guys find a minimum point, maximum point based on the equation. So the problem is, questions won't always call it minimum, maximum point. They actually have some other name also. So what is the other name, same meaning as minimum point, maximum point? We can also call it turning point. Actually, it quite makes sense, right? A point where you turn, isn't it called turning point? There's another word, same meaning with it. And nowadays, they love to come out this. We call it stationary point. So turning point and stationary point, exactly same meaning one, okay, my dear? So all this name, all same, they're actually talking about those turning point, okay? So whenever you want to find turning point, how do you guys get the answer, my dear? So first thing first, I'll teach you the first method. This first method is always the one that in exam you will show teacher, okay, my dear? So whenever they want to find maximum point, minimum point for your curve, you look at general form, it doesn't help, my dear. You must, from the general form, change to vertex form. Maybe now in your brain, you will be thinking, teacher, what is vertex form? Actually, all of you guys learn it under 2.1, the first video. Vertex form look like this, guys. Y equals to A bracket x plus p squared plus q. Now, this one is vertex form. Anyone still remember or not? How to from general form become vertex form? Don't know whether you can answer, but it's completing the square. So different teacher have a different way of teaching you, but the way I taught is you have 2 steps for completing a square under 2.1. So first step, A must be positive 1. Second step, big bracket square minus small bracket square plus C. Inside big bracket square, x plus b over 2. Inside small bracket square, b over 2. Don't know whether it sounds familiar to you, but if you watched my previous video not long ago, you should remember it, okay? So this is how we do it, okay? So guys, then, by the way, now everything I will just tell you an idea of it. You don't get it, never mind, because later on I'll give you an example. With example, you understand it so much better. You just need to try to get the idea first, okay? Because I want you to know everything, okay? Like before I start. So, like that, okay? So guys, very scared. So my dear, I got general form. Always you want to find maximum, minimum, you must change it to vertex form. So once it becomes vertex form, how vertex form will provide you the maximum, minimum point? So look at this vertex form. This vertex form, what is a very special thing about this vertex form? They got A, P, and Q. So this A, P, and Q is some weird things under there, right? So these 3 things will actually bring you the maximum, minimum point. What do they represent? So first, the A. The A, actually, we don't even care what number it is. We only care whether you're positive or negative. So if your A is a positive, guys, positive A, if you're, just imagine, if you're a very positive person, isn't it you are always very happy? Then if you're very happy, isn't it the turning point is at the most bottom? We call it minimum. Then if you're a very negative people, like always very negative, like always very negative thinking, isn't it always very sad? If you're always very sad, isn't it the turning point is right on top, highest point? Isn't it called maximum? So the A is exactly for you to know whether you're a minimum point or a maximum point. That is actually the purpose of A. Then guys, P and Q, P and Q exactly will be the turning point coordinate. P pull out is always the X. Q pull out is always the Y. Positive P pull out is always negative P. So for that position, pull out is always terbalik one. Positive become negative, negative become positive. How about the back one? The Q you pull out, it is still Q. That one no need to terbalik, okay? Your school teacher will actually explain for you. That is actually because the inside part of the bracket will equal to 0. That's why when your plus P move it over, that's why only become negative P. But you don't know the green one, never mind. You straight away pull also can. You just need to remember, need to terbalik, okay? I'm very scared later on you don't understand. So I give you 1, 2 example. So let's, for example, say y equals to 10 bracket x plus 3 square minus 1. So guys, what if they give you this one? Do you guys realize the one they give you exactly look like vertex form? So just now I already taught you vertex form can pull information out. Let's try. So my A is 10. 10 is what? I don't even care whether you're 10 or 1 million. I only care whether you're positive or negative. 10 is a positive. Positive is happy face. Happy face, the lowest point is a minimum point. So this one definitely will bring out a minimum point. And then these 2 will be the coordinate based on what I told you, right? 3. Positive 3 pull out, negative 3. Positive become negative, negative become positive, right? But the back one, no need to put the terbalik. That one just negative 1. Done. This is the minimum point answer. Can I give you another example? Fx equals to negative bracket x plus h square minus k plus 8. What happened to my pen? Okay, like that. Okay. So guys, somehow like this, okay? So again, the moment you look at this, don't tell me, teacher, this one doesn't look like vertex form. This one is vertex form. It's just slightly longer, but they are still vertex form. Now I write the red one on at the bottom. I hope you realize it really does look like vertex form. So this one, again, how do you guys pull it out? So the A is a what? Negative. Negative is what? Set face. Set face is what? Maximum. So that's why this one is not minimum, this one maximum. Wow, my handwriting, okay, not my handwriting, is the pen, okay? Maximum. So the P and Q you guys pull out will be the coordinate, correct? So H, pull out negative H. Remember that one always terbalik, right? Then guys, remember positive pull out negative, negative pull out positive. Wait, I want to change my example. Not very good. How can I come out the same thing? It's my fault, okay? Negative H pull out, then is positive H. Remember, always terbalik lah. Then guys, how about your Q? Some student will tell me negative K, some student will tell me A. I hope you are not those. You know why? Because Q is whatever behind the bracket. You shouldn't just choose one of them. You should tell me everything. So you guys pull it out, actually my y will be negative k plus 8. So this also tells us that it not must be a number. It can be unknown. It can be unknown mixed with number. Hopefully you get an idea of how do I pull it out. Okay, so this is exactly the first method. So actually usually school come out 99% you guys will use this method. But textbook actually taught you the second method, so that's why I want to teach you also. But usually you guys will use whatever I just taught, okay, vertex form. So guys, the second method is actually change general form become intercept form. Intercept form again is not something new because all you guys learned. You guys learn under 2.1 as well, my dear. So how do you guys do intercept form, my dear? So you see, this is actually your general form. Okay, later I tell you what is that, okay? But now listen first. Intercept form will look like this. 2 bracket with x minus b, x minus c, a. Something like this. This is how an intercept form look like, okay, my dear? So you must be thinking, then teacher, how general form become intercept form? General form become intercept form. It's actually something you learned before called factorization. Factorization. So sorry for my handwriting. Is my pen got some problem? Not sure why. So sad. Okay, wait. Okay, guys. So it's using factorization. Do you guys still remember what method you guys use to do factorization? Using calculator. Do you guys still remember that? So guys, whenever factorize, you will actually pull out the similar number first. After that, you guys press calculator, you guys will write these 2 brackets. Okay. Later on, when I give example, you guys will understand lah. So how do you guys get the maximum minimum point when you have intercept form? So guys, this intercept form will bring you the x-intercept from the equation. So you see, from here, you guys will get the x is b. Because when we write back, we always reverse write. You guys remember that? So this one, if you guys write back, it will be x equals to c. So that means now my curve, let's say it's a happy face, my curve will actually pass through the axes. One of it is b, one of it is c. Just want to give you an idea of it. Then, how do I find the maximum minimum point? Do you guys realize it's actually very easy because curve itself is always balanced. Balance, we call it parabola, okay? Every single curve always balanced one. So if they balance, do you realize the maximum minimum point is right in the middle of the whole thing? So in the middle, we actually call it midpoint. Do you guys still remember how to find midpoint? Let me ask you guys some very common sense thing. If here is 1, here is 3, what is in the middle? 2. Very good. If here is 0, here is 5, what is in the middle? 2.5. So actually, how do you guys find midpoint? Do you guys remember you learned under mathematics? The left one and the right one plus together, divide by 2. So you see 1 plus 3 is 4, divided by 2 is 2. Makes sense? 0 plus 5 is 5, 5 divided by 2, 2.5. Makes sense? So for you guys to find the maximum minimum point, just take these 2 x value plus together, divide by 2. That is exactly how you guys will get the maximum minimum point. Okay? Later on, I give example, you guys will get an idea, okay? Then maybe you were asking me, teacher, after you find the x, then teacher, how to find the y? You know how to find the y? Super easy. Because once you guys get the x, you want to find the y, you just sub back to the y equation, and get the y answer. Done. Okay? Not sure whether you understand whatever I say, but to understand also never mind, because I will give you an example. So let's say fx equals to 4x squared plus 18x plus 20. So guys, if the question gives you this, do you realize it's a quadratic function because it's not equal to 0, but quite obvious it's under general form. So now let's say they want to find turning point. So how do you guys find the turning point from here? So you always should use the first method, which is actually change this become vertex form. So I will do it straight away. Okay, I think the space is okay. So guys, how do you guys change it to vertex form? So based on what I say on the starting and what you learn under 2.1, we use completing a square. So completing a square, first step is a must be positive 1. So what's my a now? 4. So how 4 become positive 1? Yep, I think majority of you guys will tell me divide by 4 because that is what I taught under 2.1. But actually, you shouldn't use divide. You know why? Because you use divide, that is always because this side is a 0. When you divide by 4, you must everywhere also divide by 4. So that means the fx need to divide by 4, Usually it's 0. 0 divided by 4, they are still 0. That's why it doesn't really affect. but now it's a fx. So just imagine if your fx divided by 4, isn't it will become fx over 4? My dear, who want fx over 4? Correct, my dear? So that's the reason we are not using divide method. So if we are not using divide method, what method are we using? We are using another method where you actually all know. It's a basic. Factorization. We can pull out the 4. So you see, 4x squared, I pull out the 4, I have x squared. Actually, same as divide, it's just divide, the 4 will disappear. But now factorize, the 4 is outside, that's all. So 18 divided by 4, 9 over 2. Can simplify, simplify. 20 also need to divide by 4, 5. Okay, isn't it everything I done divided by 4? I done my first step because I already make my a positive 1. Do you realize that? This one you guys learn under 2.1. I do slightly faster. So the second step is in a big bracket square minus small bracket square plus c. And now my c is a 5. I already taught, okay? So inside big bracket square will be x plus b over 2. What's your b now? Look at your brand new b. Your b is 9 over 2. So here write the same thing. A lot of students wrong. That is because they will just put 9 over 2. You shouldn't. Because the formula wise is actually b over 2, right? So your b is 9 over 2, I understand. But the formula is b over 2. So your b have an over 2. That is actually for partial of the b. And my original over 2, you must still put, okay? So I put another color, so hopefully you guys can see it better. So it's only this one, second step done also. Let's start from now on. The rest is just mathematics, okay? So let's do it. So first, we won't like fractions in such many layer, okay? We always try to simplify it. So 9 over 2 will become 9 over 4. I will highly recommend you to press calculator because just for my own student wise, majority of the student will actually tell me something else because you guys just, manually count based on your brain. It's not that I don't trust your maths, but to be more secure, you better press calculator. And guys, don't tell me, teacher, expand this bracket. You shouldn't. Under 2.1, I already taught, and now you also know because you want vertex form. Vertex form exactly just want this big bracket square. So don't try to expand it. But you guys can expand the back part. And for me, I will just press calculator for the behind part. You can press one go. You guys will get negative 1 over 60. So do you guys realize it does look like vertex form now? But is this already the vertex form? Not yet. You know why? Because vertex form don't have a big bracket. So at the end, you guys should try to make the big bracket disappear. How? At last, times the 4 back in. Don't tell me you times inside, there's a square, my dear. So you couldn't 4 times x become 4x, but you can put it outside the bracket. Remember the 4 need to times the back one as well. So 4 times negative 1 over 16, you can press calculator, negative 1 over 4. Ta-da-da-da! Do you realize I already finally get this particular form, which actually I already say it called vertex form. So why we want vertex form? Because vertex form can actually help us to pull the informations out. Let's have to prove. So guys, my A is a 4. It's just a positive. Positive, happy face, minimal. Can? My P, 9 over 4. Just now I say positive, pull out, negative. My Q, negative 1 over 4. Pull out, still negative 1 over 4. Ta-da! Isn't it? This is my minimum point answer. Done. You guys all understand? Understand? Please let me know, okay? If I'm way too fast or stuff. But I try to be faster because no one want to relearn the thing like over and over again. And some more this one I already cover under previous videos. Okay, my dear. So this is how you guys get the answer. So just now I taught you guys another method. The second method, isn't it? I told you, you guys can make it, what is that form? Intercept form, correct? Can using factorization. So let me try the second method, see whether it works or not. Okay, so guys, the second method is factorization. You don't tell me, teacher, I straight away press calculator. No, because if they all have a similar number that you can pull out, you should pull out first. Like, let me ask you, 4, 18, 20, all of them can divide by what number? You should tell me 2. Don't tell me 4. Divide by 4 got fraction, okay? Can divide by 2, right? So don't divide by 2 lah, because the side is not 0, right? So instead of divide, you pull out. Same like just now lah, right? So 4, pull out 2, 2. 18 divided by 2, 9. 20 divided by 2, 10. This one is the simplest form. Always make it a simplest form. Only press calculator. Press under 2.1 I already taught, okay? So I hope all of you know how to press. Momo mode, 1 right side 2. My A is what? 2. My B is what? 9. My C is what? 10. So after I press calculator, guys, do you guys realize the first answer is what? Negative 2. I already taught under the first video. So negative 2 right back is a positive 2x. Now I write here, this is what you get, okay? But when you write backwards, you always terbalik, right? You guys should know that. Second answer, don't write 2.5. No one write fraction 1. Always write no one write decimal. Always write fraction. Do you guys get negative 5 over 2? So previously, I already taught write backwards, okay? Negative 5, write positive 5. They are x, write x. Divide by 2, write backwards times 2. Okay, I got these two answers lah. So do you guys still remember these two answers? Is it the answer? No. These two answers is actually the x-intercept. That means if I draw the curve out, this is actually the 2 point they touch, right? Now you want to find the maximum minimum point. So how do you guys find the maximum minimum point? Midpoint. Midpoint is always taking the first x-intercept plus the second one. You just plus them together, divide by 2. You will get the middle point. So negative 2 plus negative 5 over 2 divided by 2. Do you guys get negative 9 over 4? Most important is this particular precious moment, like, oh, you know that sound effect? Do you guys realize that my x, I get negative 9 over 4? This x, also negative 9 over 4. Obviously, should same lah, my dear. Impossible, I teach you another method, doesn't work, right? By the way, every method school exam can use one, okay? I didn't like create my own method, like exam cannot use, okay? Because students like to ask that, okay? So guys, I already get the x answer. But how do you guys find the y? Sub back to the y equation. So you see, the x column, I will sub negative 9 over 4 inside. So if I sub it in, all I need to do now is just press calculator. 4 bracket negative 9 over 4 squared plus 18 bracket negative. Just press the whole thing, okay? Negative 1 over 4. Now you guys can write out the x is this, the y is this. Isn't it? This is my turning point answer. But the problem is, maybe you will tell me, but teacher, you won't know whether it's positive or negative. You won't know it's maximum, minimum. Actually, you know. Because maximum, minimum actually based on who? The A for vertex form, correct? But actually not just vertex form. General form A also can use that to refer whether they are happy face or sad face. So positive 4 obviously is a happy face. Happy face, you know it is still a minimum point answer. Done. And I repeat again. Is the answer same? Yes, exactly the same. So these two methods definitely will get back the same answer. Okay? Before I start to give you questions, but I want to say one thing. Not every school teacher will teach, but I want to teach, okay? I just want, okay? If you're scared, you can always double check using this method. Okay, like a shortcut method, okay? I write in pink so that you know, like, very seldom school teacher will use that method. And normally come out exam is always this method, okay? But you can always use that to check, or if you want to do it faster, or if they didn't emphasize what method they must, you guys can use this method even in exam, okay? So guys, actually every single time you want to find the maximum minimum point, they will always, the x value of the maximum minimum point definitely is under this formula, negative b over 2a. No get? Never mind. Show you. Okay, here. So you see, just now the formula I just taught you, wait, using back the same color. X equals to negative b over 2a. Correct? So let's try this particular equation now, okay? So x equals to negative, my b, 18. Over 2, my a is 4. Press calculator, negative 9 over 4. Do you realize it's like, teacher, just like that? Yeah, just like that. You see the x? Is it same answer as these two? Yes. Actually, this formula can straight away tell you the x value. And maybe you will tell me, the teacher, how to get the y value. Same thing lah, sub inside. And then you guys will get back the same answer. So in total, I teach you 3 methods, but I will always show the first method. Because the first method is always the one that came out in the exam, okay? So guys, question 1. You know why I laugh? Because I accidentally speak Mandarin. But this question 1, okay? This question 1, I only got two questions, okay? So this question 1, express the quadratic function. Let me write for you guys. This is the quadratic function. So they want me to express this quadratic function in the form of the behind part, okay? So express means find out. So guys, they want me to change this one become this form. So this is the first requirement, okay? So we do one by one now. We do the first one first. So do you guys realize the one they give you is actually a general form? They want you to express in the right side form. The right side form called what? Very good, vertex form. So just now I taught you guys how to from general form become vertex form. You see, they always love this form, right? This way of doing it, okay? So vertex form is always using completing the square. Just now I already give you an example, right? Let me write down the step again. First step, A must be positive 1. Second step, big bracket square minus small bracket square plus C. Inside big bracket square is always x plus b over 2. Inside small bracket square, b over 2. Okay, now guys, so that is the step, okay? So let's get started. So let's try to become vertex form again. Since the second time I'm doing it in this particular video, I do it faster a bit. So first thing first, rearrange the general form. Because general form, isn't it, x squared should be in front, x should be in the middle, non-x at the back. So let's start to do completing a square. Your a must be positive 1, right? Now my a is a negative 3. How negative 3 become positive 1? Don't tell me divide by negative 3. Don't tell me times negative. Cannot, because there's not a 0 on the left side. Instead of doing that, you factorize again. Factorize means divide. Negative 3x squared divided by negative 3, x squared. Positive divided by negative, negative. 4 divided by 3, 4 over 3, x. Positive divided by negative, negative. 4 divided by 3, 4 over 3. Isn't it somehow like that? Done the first step, let's do the second step. Second step is what? Memorize again. Big bracket square minus small bracket square plus C. Now my C, isn't it, negative 4 over 3. So what is inside my big bracket square? Isn't it x plus b over 2? What's your b now? Do you realize your b have a negative? Please tell me with the negative. Don't out of a sudden forget to write the negative, okay? Student always careless all here. And remember, over 2, I changed color pen. I think you guys by now shouldn't have any problem. So just done 2 steps already, right? So after I done these 2 steps, the rest is just, simplified mathematics. So x, positive, negative, negative. 4 over 3 over 2, you guys can press calculator. Don't try to guess, 2 over 3. So that part is 2 over 3. This inside part definitely 2 over 3 also. And this part I purposely must emphasize. Okay, wait up. This big bracket square, we still write back. We don't expand it. This part I already emphasized under 2.1, but just in case you guys forget, don't tell me negative, negative, positive. You guys always careless here. You just, you want to be fast, but you careless. Why not negative, negative, positive? Because guys, that is a square. You should do the square first. Let me show you. Negative you square, positive. 2 squared, 4. 3 squared, 9. Do you realize actually when after you squared it, you won't even have a negative, negative, positive because the inside negative already disappeared. So the rest is still the same. Now I'll press calculator, try to combine this particular back part together. Always write your answer in improper fraction. Again, am I done? No. Why? Because vertex form shouldn't have a big bracket. So what should I do now? At last, isn't it times the negative 3 in? You couldn't times in because there is a bracket with a square, so please put it in front. Then negative 3, how about this? Negative, negative, positive. 3 times 16 over 9, isn't it 16 over 3? Done. Do you realize I finally fulfilled the first requirement of changing the general form become vertex form? Yep, I really got it. Right? And why we always want to get vertex form? Because vertex form can pull the informations out. Correct? I hope I'm not too fast. If I'm too fast, let me know, okay? Because this is the 4th or 5th video of the same chapter. So I thought maybe you already get my style. You let me know, okay? If not, you just, replay lah, okay? Video ma. So my dear, so A is actually what? Negative. Negative is set phase. Set phase is maximum. So this question is a maximum. The P, negative 2 over 3, pull out positive 2 over 3. Remember? Reverse it. The Q is 16 over 3, pull out 16 over 3 as well. Isn't it? This is what you guys get for your maximum point answer. Correct? But guys, this question, don't tell me you stop here. Because let's look at the second requirement, okay? This question, after that, they say, hence. Hence means therefore. Hence, state. State means write out, okay? State the maximum minimum. Yep. Whenever you want to do this, that is because they want to find the maximum minimum point, right? But then this one, they say they want to state the maximum minimum value. So guys, they're asking you the maximum minimum value of the function that we just did and the corresponding value of x. Corresponding, that means when I'm this, what are you? Okay, we are matching partner. Okay, my dear. So they find the corresponding value of x as well. So you must be thinking, teacher, isn't it that is already the answer? No, because the answer you just now write is a point. Point answer, right, is always a coordinate form. But now they don't want point, they want value. Please remember this. Value is actually the y. So value represent the y value, and then corresponding value of x, that means the x value. So that means now they want your answer, they want the y value and the x value. So guys, how do I get the y value and the x value then? See, actually it's the same. It's just that whenever you write your answer for point, you guys will write in coordinate form. But whenever you guys write your answer for value, you will write in a sentence. Just now I say the value means what? The y. So what is your y now? So maximum value is actually 16/3. Okay? How about the corresponding value of x? You guys will write in a sentence, right? So when the x is 2/3, done. Student always careless of this. They always just write point, but exam serious lah. State paper especially, they love to come out with value. So you must remember, whenever they say value, value represent the y. Done. Hopefully you guys understand. If I'm way too fast, you just replay it. Question 2 now. So question 2, even though I don't want my video to be very, very long, but I feel like I should cover some exam type, not just, basic. So, yep, that's the reason. That this explains why my video always that long, okay? Hopefully you don't mind. I hope you don't mind, okay? Question 2. The function, again, they give this, has a minimum value. Value is what, guys? Very good. Y. So now they tell me the y is -1 when the x is 1, correct? Find the value of h and of k. Now you should realize this time round, they didn't ask for the maximum minimum value. Instead of ask you, they give you. So they give you, but they want to reverse and find back the h and k answer. The concept-wise is the same. How do you guys do it, my dear? So now I know the y is -1. I know the x is 1, correct? To make my life easier, isn't it always when we pull it out, it's always a coordinate form? So I feel like writing a coordinate form is easier than writing a sentence form. So I will, from these two, try to write out the minimum point. And I don't think it's a problem. Because you guys all know value is -1. That means my y is -1. When the x is 1, that means you know the x is 1. So isn't it that means my minimum point will be 1, -1. So on the starting, I already have the minimum point. So now I just want to get my h and k answer. Let's again use the method that teacher always want to use, which is vertex form. Again, in exam, this question never say using vertex form, but how you guys know using vertex form? Because they have the word minimum. So whenever you have the word minimum, maximum, turning point, stationary point, you know that you must have vertex form for you guys to do it, because general form just doesn't help you to extract those kind of answer for minimum, maximum value, okay? So there's a reason. Let's get started. Again, start from completing the square. A is 1. What's your A now? H. A lot of students now, whenever they see H, they must be thinking, oh, teacher, very hard. Guys, unknown or number make no difference, The working of it is exactly the same. You just factorize the H. H I pull out, I left x squared. Factorize means divide. -4 divided by H, -4/H. K divided by H, K/H. Okay, everything I divide by H lah. After everything divided by H, let's do the second step. Big bracket square minus small bracket square plus C. Isn't it my C will be K/H now? So what is inside my big bracket square? It will be X plus B. Guys, your B got negative. Please remember to write the negative down. It will affect the inside part. And then over 2. I think by now you guys understand lah, okay? This is the third example I gave on the same video, okay? So guys, again, time to simplify it. Positive, negative, negative. Just now, how do we simplify? We press calculator. This time, I don't think I can press calculator because I have an unknown H there. In my previous video, I taught a lot of time where whenever your fraction is not the simplest one, you want to manually do it, you guys can always change the divide to primary school divide. Now, primary school divide, everyone understand one. I love primary school thing is because student always can remember primary school stuff, okay? So this divide can become what? Times. As long as I switch it upside down. So 2 over 1 terbalik, 1, wrong pen. 1 over 2. Then you guys can cut them. Do you guys realize I get negative 2 over h? So now I can write it inside. So it's actually a 2 over h. So don't always expect can press calculator. Can press, you press. Cannot, manually do it. Your mathematics is okay for you guys to do all this, okay? Let's continue, right? So this big bracket square, I just continue copy down. How about the behind part? I repeat, don't tell me negative, negative, positive, because there's a square. You should settle the square first. Power always comes first. Negative square, positive. 2 square, 4. H, you guys squared it, h square. Isn't it the behind part still the same? Can? Guys, by the way, here to here, usually we will press calculator and combine them. You want to combine, it didn't stop you, but it's not necessary because they're not numbers. So combine or not combining them, you will get the same answer. So I'm such a lazy people, so I won't do it. But you know that you shouldn't stop here because they are not vertex form yet, because you still have the big bracket. What should you do? Time the h in. You couldn't times in because there's a square, so you need to write in front of the bracket. How about h times this one? Scared you guys don't know, right at the side. H, if I times negative 4 over h squared, I have 1h, you have 2h, cut. Isn't it negative 4 over h? How about the last part? H, I will times this. H times k over h, cut. I left a single k. Ta-da! Do you realize again we get the vertex form every single time? So again, why are we getting this vertex form? Because this vertex form can pull information out. So I repeat, the A is for us to see positive, negative. So now, is it positive or negative? Even I'm not beside you, I can already imagine you guys say positive, where I should tell you it's actually don't know. The answer should be don't know, because H is an unknown. Unknown, you won't know whether they are positive or negative. Please don't try to guess, okay? Whether they don't know, then don't know, okay? Don't like try to force yourself to get the answer, okay? Then just do those you know, okay? Which is the P and Q part. Negative 2 over H, pull out positive 2 over H. How about my Q? My Q, you will pull out the whole thing. Ta-da! Do you guys realize now I finally get my own version of minimum maximum point? And these questions also give me the minimum maximum point. That the one I get and the one they give, are they the same? Yes, they should be the same. Why they should be the same? Because the one they give is from that equation. The one I do also from that equation. Both of them come from the same equation. One particular curve only got one minimum point. So definitely they're talking about the same minimum point. How do you guys get your H and K answer now? Compare. My X and your X should be the same. So divide, move their times. Ta-da! H equals to 2. The Y and the Y is also the same. Compare. How do you guys do it? You guys already get your H answer. You guys can sub it in. So negative 2 plus K equals to negative 1. K answer will be negative 2, move it over, positive 2. Negative 1 plus 2, positive 1. Done. Hopefully you guys understand. Please leave me a comment to tell me whether you understand which part or which part not very good or very good also. Please don't cut the good of your compliments, okay? Yep, share to your friends just like that. See you next time. Annyeong. Bye-bye.